Hello again everyone, and welcome to another video in our training series on membership websites. This video in particular is going to focus on refunds. It is a sad but true fact that sometimes our customers do ask for a refund from something they've purchased, so it's important to know how to go about processing that. And it's really quite a simple methodology which I'm going to take you through, but there's a couple of things to keep in mind. So here we are on our members list. Again, under the dashboard, under Memberpress here on the left, and then under Members, that brings up this list of all of our active members. So let's say that my test user here, test user 1, he's asked for a refund. How are we going to process that? So he has a subscription, and there's also a transaction as well, naturally. Now, you know that a subscription basically is a schedule for when to process another transaction and another charge on the credit card. So in this case there's only one transaction, but there could be 2, 3, 4 or 5 or even more transactions with a subscription. Okay, now it's important that when we refund a customer, we're going to cancel the subscription as well, because if we don't cancel the subscription, all we're doing is refunding one transaction, but when it comes to the end of that term or that period, the subscription is going to tell the system to charge them again, and that may not be what you want. Okay, so let's go to transactions here, and let's click on the one complete transaction to go in and view the list of transactions here. Now, if there were more transactions here, you would have a full list, so make sure that you're looking at the latest transaction, the one that you actually want to refund. This transaction is for $40, so when we refund this transaction, it's going to refund $40 back to the customer. Okay, it's not going to refund every transaction. We're only refunding the transaction that we have selected. And this is normally the case. I mean, if someone is signed up on a monthly plan or a yearly plan, you're only going to be refunding their latest transaction. You're not refunding the last 12 months or 5 years of transactions, right? Okay, now over here on the left we have a refund and a refund and cancel. Okay, now a refund will only refund the current transaction and it will leave the subscription active. Generally you don't want to do this. You would only want to do this in times where, to be honest, I'm not really sure. Perhaps you want to give somebody a free month or a free week, but at the end of that term the system's going to charge them again. The option is there if you want to use it. 99% of cases you're going to refund and cancel, where you're refunding the latest transaction that's come through, and you're also canceling the subscription so they no longer get charged again. Okay, now this is different to just canceling a subscription. So this isn't how you would normally close off a customer. Generally you would wait until their term expires, and the customer actually has the ability to cancel the subscription themselves, so that at the end of the term it just expires and it doesn't renew. Okay, but in this case, this test user, he said, hey, I accidentally renewed, I didn't mean to renew, within my 7-day grace period, for example, I'd like a refund please. So you come in here, we're going to click refund and cancel. It's going to pop up and ask you to confirm that decision. You click OK. Now it's now going to talk with Stripe, the payment gateway, and it's going to refund this transaction of $40, and then it's going to go further and it's going to cancel the subscription so that they aren't charged a second time. And that's what it says here. Your transaction was refunded and subscription was cancelled successfully. So we click OK and we can see here the status of refunded. Now if we go back to our main user list, we will see here that this test user is no longer active in the system because they don't have any active transactions. We can see that here they have one stopped subscription which has been stopped, and they have a transaction here which is an other which has been refunded here, and so they're marked as inactive because they have no active transaction. Because they have no active transaction, that also means that they no longer have access to your system. So keep that in mind as well when you're refunding people, that if you're refunding them and they only have one transaction, they're going to lose access to the system. If that's not your desire, you need to refund, and then you need to process another manual transaction to give them access essentially for free, because a manual transaction you're not actually charging the credit card, if that makes sense. So guys, I hope that's been informative for you today on how to process refunds. Again, if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below and we can get back to you. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.